What's up, YouTube family? We are back with another crazy banger, and then today we are literally going to be breaking down a $500 to $15,000 trade, which we actually did take today. Now, this trade was literally one of the easiest setups that came today. Now, irrespective of the fact it was a little bit crazy, we actually did get a few losses before it panned out well, right? But this was one of the cleanest trade we've actually had so far for the week. Now, as you all know, we prioritize precision, and if you're new to this particular YouTube channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, right? And to join our free community, you can click on the link in this particular video description to be part of the free Telegram community where we send in our trade levels, right? So today, I'm literally going to be breaking down this particular trade, which we actually did flip today, and this is literally the result in the community, right? As you can see right here, this is particularly a 500 USD to 14,000 USD, right? And this was literally the entry with over a zero drawdown. And the entries, we actually did have a previous week where we did take 100 to 3,000, right? Which we were almost floating 4,000. The goal for the week was particularly 100 to 5K, right? Which we are definitely going to smash for the week. So these are the where we actually post our free on the free Telegram community where we send in our trade levels, right? So as I did say, it's all an easy peasy, it's very easy to achieve this, right? So I literally made a previous video. You can literally refer back to the previous video before this on this particular YouTube channel, right? On how to like actually capitalize on the 30 minutes levels and the fact that you can literally flip of being a day trader, right? So these are literally the takes you've taken so far on this particular shot, right? Now, irrespective of the fact we actually did have losses, but these are practically confirmed entries which we actually did take for the flip and literally did pan out pretty well, right? Today, I'm literally going to be breaking down this singular setup, right? So far for the week, we were able to like take sales of this particular point. We attempted buys, but price failed to tap into our level, right? We did expand all the way to the upside, called this particular short level, and then price dropped. We called this buy and called this out. So this is where we ended up having a 500 to $15,000, right? So let's see. I'll go in depth into how this particular trade panned out. So firstly, as a day trader, right, you actually want to do the analysis, right? If you're literally looking to this cap, right, you actually want to play your levels of the 30 minutes or the 1 hour. And I did say specifically that if you are particularly new to this concept, right, we actually trade based off engulfing candles. Now, every single engulfing candle you see on the chart, right, actually has a storyline or a context behind it. It is literally your job as a day trader, right, to identify what this particular engulfing candle is stating, right? So an engulfing candle can literally state a reversal, it can literally state a continuation, right? All you actually have to do is to decipher which kind of trader you actually want to be in this particular scenario. So now on to the trade breakdown. Now we actually do have the presence of what at this particular sell level. So right here, we actually do have the presence of this engulfing candle, right? Now, in every single place where you actually want to frame your sell setup, right? You actually want to make your sell setup or your buy level, right? You actually want to make sure you have the presence of an engulfing candle, right? Which is more like a singular confluence to all you look out for. So in this particular area where we actually do have the presence of this bearish engulfing candle, right, you actually do have what we call a blind spot setup, right? So a blind spot setup is practically us having a key level. Now, in this particular key level, we actually have a defined pattern, right? So this is a key level right here. Now, this is it, right? So you actually want to have a defined pattern, and a defined pattern comes with us having a bearish engulfing candle or a bullish engulfing candle right here. So since this is a bullish scenario, right, you actually want to see the presence of a bullish engulfing candle that failed to hold price entirely to the upside, entirely. So we actually do have this right here. Okay, so this gives us the premise for framing a sell setup, right? So we actually have blind spots right here. You actually have a key level. So this is more like a double confluence for our short trade, right? Now, don't forget you actually did have a buy to sell, right? We are more focused on the sell, right? Because this happened during London section into New York, right? Or should we say mid-London section, right, into New York. We actually did get this during Asian section into London section, right, and we head all the way to the upside. Now, this setup comes up every single day in price, and it's literally left for you as a day trader or as a flip trader in respect to scalping to identify these opportunities and to see them happen in real time, right? So now price actually did present this. Before we continue, if you're new to this particular community, don't forget to click on the link in this particular video description to join our free Telegram community, right? So now price printed this out, so we actually have a defined sell level, right? So let's go on to this. So this is literally what we have in price. This is a blind spot right here, okay? Now, let's go back to this also. We actually have the presence of what? This key level and what? This other one. So this is the first resistance support. Price bounces up back, comes back right here, okay? So now in order for you to confirm this, you actually want to make sure that there's the presence of an engulfing candle. We actually do see price run into this bearish engulfing candle and then we dropped, right? Same thing right here. This is practically a confirmation on the 1 hour. We have the presence of a bearish engulfing candle right here. So we apparently did trade into it and then price continued all the way to the downside, right? And this right here, we actually want to look to the left on what price actually did, right? We do see the presence of a bullish engulfing candle, okay? And this was literally what propelled price. This is also a bullish engulfing candle right here, and then we also did see the presence of a bullish engulfing candle. Now, I literally don't want you getting stuck in respect to the fact that an engulfing candle might be present. You actually want to make sure that a confirmation is practically imminent, right? And practically present. So the engulfing candle should literally serve as a confirmation to your trading, right? For every single level. So far, a valid demand zone is an engulfing candle. A valid supply zone is also an engulfing candle, right? So this is more like a little hack. Now with price coming all the way to this, right? We actually refine this, and this is literally right there in the cost room, right? Now you actually want to refine and then pinpoint that accurate reversal point. So for the sake of this particular video, we're literally going to make use of this particular random, should we call it random, right? Or a simple or a layman's knowledge in breaking this down, right? So this is this level. Now I want you all to notice the impulse that came in all the way to this downside. Now, this particular breakdown is to enable you all right to get this correctly. Now, take a look at this. All right, you actually do have the presence of a supply level present, right? Judging from the impulse to the downside. Now, at this particular point, you can decide to scale in aggressively, right? Or you can decide to like play a continuation. So on this particular area of continuation, right, you actually do have a simple logical pattern present, right? Which is the presence of compression. Okay, so what is compression is more like price getting ready to give an opposite reversal to the upside or to the downside. So now, after we actually did map out our level, right? We do see a valid low right here, which is where we actually want to see price come take out, right? So this is more like a valid level. I'm not calling this liquidity, right? This is a valid low. We actually do have the presence of exhaustion right here, okay? Now, these are literally right there in the community, right? We've actually talked about these particular levels over and over in the community. So if you're looking to join our free community, click on the link in this particular video description, right? And don't forget to like and subscribe. So we actually have the presence of this exhaustion plus gap, right? So it means every single movement you're looking to see should literally have this particular target because this is where the origin of this movement started, and we actually want to see price fill up this entire gap, right? Correct. Now the question is, how sure are we that price is literally going to give us a reversal, knowing that we actually have this low being intact, right? And we actually have a supply, and we actually have the SNRC type 1, and we also do have the presence of an engulfing candle confirming this entire trade on the higher time frame. Now we can literally make use of the confirmed entry, right? So in respect to compression, we actually do have price doing what? Let's play this, right? So we actually do have price giving us this. Now we actually do have the presence of this trend line. We actually have first touch, second touch, third touch, right? Price comes back into this. Or should we say first touch, second touch, price comes back into this, right? Now let's take a look at this buy level, which we actually did have right here. So you actually have first touch, second touch, third touch, which is right here. And then boom, price expand all the way to the upside. Now, is this particular criteria valid for every single trade we have in the price? It is, right? So let's take a look at this other one. first touch, we actually have a second touch, which is more like a breakout and retest, right? Now, all these are the presence of trend line confirmations on this particular setup, right? Now, we actually do have this right here, present, right? First, second, and then boom, price came back into this. Now, this is literally a trend line confirmation, right? Now, there are times where price might not necessarily give you this confirmation, but we actually can have to wait for it. This is it. So this is first touch, second touch. You expected touch right here, which price field should I give, right? And at the same time, you actually do have this. So if you are to map this out, you can literally look this up right there on the channel. So these are literally the premise for the entry. So price actually came back right here. It was a tap into this particular level. Now you can literally not use this as a standalone, right? You need extra confluences to be able to like frame the setup. Now you can literally apply this to your arsenal by actually understanding that for every single engulfing candle, there's literally going to be the presence of an impulse, right? To the upside or to the downside. You need to actually understand the patterns present in this. You get, and every single pattern like this have been discussed over and over in the previous video. So you all can literally check this video out, right? So this was where my entry was right here. And now in respect to the stacking, the question is usually how do we stack it, right? So if you actually have a 50 USD, remember we prioritize precision, right? And with precision, there's practically no limitations to how you can actually and what you can achieve, right? So the question is, how are you able to like achieve this crazy precision? Now you should understand that we actually look out for a confirmation inside a confirmation. So it's more like saying, this trade is confirmed to go to the downside. But now you literally want to look out for more confirmation, which is going to propel impulse and at the same time going to propel a weak rejection. So this is literally what we're talking about. Confirmation right here, right? And we still have this right now. So you actually have this confirmation right here, which you actually can call a structural change present. And we also have a supply zone present to propel this. And we also have this trend line tap, which is also more like a very sweet confluence, right? And price expand all the way to where? To the downside. So this is literally how easy it was. And as you can see right here, price did come straight up for this particular low. Now, if you're particularly having confusion with understanding this, you can refer back to the previous videos, right? Where we actually talked about this. And as I did say, the link is particularly in this particular video description. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, right? Every single trade is being called out right there in the community, including the losses. And I always do notify if a loss was taken, right? Now, I want you all to understand that flipping is a personal decision, right? And it comes and works. This particular method works across every other, across all kinds of trading, right? The conservative, the aggressive, and so on. And as you can see, we actually did bag a prop firm in just in just a day, smashing the phase one and phase two in just a day of trading this, right? So it's all just an easy peasy. All you actually have to do is like stick to the rules. And yeah, we also do have this running on the copy trading aspect, right? So don't forget, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now, every single trade out, every single flip which is being done, expect a breakdown to be sent on this particular YouTube channel. So see you guys, stay tuned, and don't forget to like and share and be part of the community.